The steelworks weren't always here. This land has been shaped and reshaped over centuries, from farms to monasteries and finally the steel giants that have now become part of the town's identity.
If you look at Wales, it dictated the price of coal, copper, tin, slate to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
The history that's around us is phenomenal. I knew some of the historians, I know some of them, and they're not going to live forever. So what you do is, you're like a sponge. Give it to me so I can pass it on.
Yeah.
Emily Charlotte Talbot had inherited the estate. That was 1890. She created Port Talbot, really, to be honest. She gave money for schools, for churches, for hospitals, for refugees at the time of the First World War. The old Bar of Avon stopped being any use because ships got bigger and it was just a little river mouth estuary. So her father got involved in developing new docks, but those docks were now too small as well. They needed to be improved. So Emily Charlotte came in, she talked to the Port Talbot Dock and Railway Company, and she put £44,000 into setting up a steelworks. But it didn't go very well, and after a couple of years it went bust. So she owned all the assets because she put in the money to get it started. And so then she went to Baldwin's, who were also involved with steel, iron and steel, and they came in and they worked together, and from that point on the steelworks thrived. When I came here in the sort of late 60s, early 70s, this was known as Treasure Island. You know, it's why they could build the Avon Lido, they could do all of this, they could develop the library service, quite a lot of other services. And then I think sometime in the 70s, the steel company appealed against the rates and they were cut back considerably, so the council had rather less money. But they were still not too badly off, you know. Then they sold it off to Chorus, and then Chorus sold it off to Tata. I think when Tata came in, they had ambitions, because I remember they set up a lovely new visitor centre. That was one of the places I met Graham Rowlands first.
You're having an opportunity to see the last remnants of the Industrial Revolution in Wales. The converter's in there. There's an explosion doors. So he's going to pick a ladle up now. What they do, they engage another hook at the back, and the hook tilts the ladle. The steel industry's been my life. And, you know, I got it all tattooed on me. I got blast furnaces and Bessemer plant. So it's...
That's what they call about having it in the blood then, isn't it?
Well, you know, my father worked here before me. He was 38 years. My son worked here. So the road that we're going to be travelling on now is a Grange road. It's called now. Grange is a name. It's a monastic name for a farm, and you'll see remnants of a farm as we go on. So the monks that were here were linked to the monks in Margam Abbey. So they were Cistercian monks, the same as the monks in Margam Abbey. And they reckon there's a tunnel here that goes from here into Margam Park.
Please will you introduce yourself, Graham, and tell us a little bit about why you're so excited about the history and heritage of Port Talbot.
You'll have to bear with me. 6 weeks ago, I was in a hospital bed suffering a stroke. This is my 46th year in Tata, Port Talbot. I've seen quite a number of changes. When I started there were 18,500 people working there, which whittled down to 9,500, and it's been a gradual decline ever since. We are about to enter a new phase in Port Talbot as steel making is phased out. It's not a very good thing to experience, but unfortunately that is the way of the world, and rather than fight it, we must embrace it. And we must remember what it meant to people to work in the steelworks. A number of people sadly lost their lives in the industry, but it was part of the dangers that we undertook day by day. We brought a load of street artists in and we created a memorial garden, which was opened by Michael Sheen and a lady called Diane Botcher. I don't know if you've ever seen the film Twin Town.
Yeah.
She was the mother.
Right.
Right, and I know her, that's why I brought her in. And it was a wonderful day. You know, we had widows here whose husbands worked there. They never experienced the plant. It was an opportunity for them to see the plant.
Yeah.
And to see a memorial garden that commemorates their loved ones. This was the first caster one in 1982, my 21st birthday. And we burnt the plant down.
You look proud of that.
So these are the tools that they use in the ingot route. I hid, believe it or not, an ingot mold on a bottom to bring it back and to create an area for people. So if you turn round, if you look behind you, I wanted it to depict people who passed away. Don't know they've passed away. They've gone into work. They try to talk to somebody. They realise they're no longer part of the human race. And they're looking for the light. And they're moving towards the light. So that's what it depicts. You can imagine how emotional it was, explaining to widows what it was all about.
Well, you just gave me blooming goosebumps just now.
Who's to say there's another day? Who's to say with time? Who's to say that the price we pay behind their eyes disguise? Who's to say it's a step too far? Who's to say it's so? Calling time on your recent past, you'll be so glad to know. So here's what to do. Here's what to say. With sustain and delay. Come on.
history for me, I created a timeline which stretched 44 meters and is situated in the Bosphorus. So this is the last timeline I did. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we drove past. So you can see it now before the steelworks.
Yeah.
This is the Morva mine. So you can see the workings. See how in depth the workings are. And so where that monument is, that would be. Yeah. Remember telling you about the farm and the lake? It goes back to 1300, where the monks were smelting on the site. So part of the new process means that they can going to be filling in a lake which is adjacent to the plant that I work in. And in that lake is the Theodoric Grange. A grange is a word for a monastic farm. I want them to dig out the grange and use the grange as a means for people to come in and see their history and heritage.
Stories like that remind us that why not here? Why not put Talbot at the centre of the world for so many years and for so many things? So thank you, Graham, for all your work to preserve that important history. Thank you very much.